such a classic,
Yeah,
and
absolutely.
yeah, I'm
It's
excited.
one of those films that you can watch over and over and over again and see something new every single
Oh,
time.
totally. And I think especially for this deep dive, we're going to be focusing on the original screenplay,
Right.
which as we were prepping for this episode,
Yeah.
I was just floored by how much is in there.
Oh yeah.
Like the depth of ideas, just like every page is like, oh my god, there's like five different things we can talk about.
It's so rich and it's so layered in terms of the ideas that it's dealing with. I mean, you've got philosophy, you've got action, you've got this kind of cyberpunk aesthetic that's just so cool.
Totally, yeah, and I think for me, what I'm really
Make sure it's
fascinated
loud
by is
enough.
how the film just like grapples with these huge questions about like what is reality, what is choice, like what does it mean to be free, and I think the screenplay really lays that out in a way that is both like really accessible but also like super thought provoking.
And what I think is so brilliant about it is that it manages to do that without ever feeling like a lecture or like a philosophy textbook.
Right.
It's woven so seamlessly into this really compelling story with these amazing characters and these incredible action sequences.
Totally. And that's what we're going to try to do in this deep dive, right? Is like
Oh yeah. I will cut it off and cut it back on. Take a quick intermission. But I'm just adjusting the sound so it can be through the speaker. Sorry y'all couldn't hear. But allowing everything to be cool. I really appreciate all y'all for coming through, keeping it there, staying near, no fears. Let me just change the desktop audio so it can be able to pick it up through the speaker, and then we can continue the journey.
really unpack those ideas but also connect them to those heart-stopping moments in the film, like
Yes.
how does the action actually reflect the deeper themes?
Absolutely. And I think one of the things that The Matrix does so well is that it really makes you question your own reality.
Oh yeah.
I mean, it takes that idea that we might be living in a simulation and it makes it feel so real, so visceral.
Totally. So let's jump right in. The screenplay, drops us right into this world where like most of humanity has no idea that they're actually plugged into this simulated reality called the Matrix, and they're living out these lives that they think are real but are actually totally fabricated.
Right? It's like living in a dream and you don't even know you're dreaming.
Exactly. And the film wastes no time like showing us just how deep that illusion goes, like right from that opening scene
Amaya,
with Trinity on the phone.
that opening scene is so iconic.
Mhm.
I mean, she's on the run from the agents. She's jumping across rooftops. She's defying gravity. And you see those green cascading numbers, those almost electric lines tracing her every move within the Matrix.
It's like watching a hacker at work, except the code she's manipulating is reality itself.
Right. And it immediately sets the tone. This is a world built on code, but it's also a world where someone like Trinity can bend those rules if you know how to play the game.
It's like she's found the glitches in the system.
Exactly.
Right. And we see that, but then we also see these agents, right?
Right. Oh, yeah. The agents, these super-powered programs enforcing the Matrix's control.
Mm.
I mean, Agent Smith especially, he's so chilling with that line. The Matrix has you.
Yeah, it's like he's not even threatening you. He's just stating a fact.
Exactly. He's laying it out for you. You think you're in control. You think you're making your own choices, but the Matrix has a hold of you in ways you can't even imagine.
It's like this underlying sense of like unease and paranoia.
Absolutely. And it's so relevant even today.
Yeah.
We live in a world where our data is constantly being collected, our movements tracked. I mean, the Matrix taps into that primal fear of being watched, of losing control of our own lives.
Yeah, totally. And then we're introduced to Morpheus.
Right. Morpheus, this enigmatic figure, the leader of the resistance.
Right. And he believes Neo is the one, right? Like this prophesied liberator of humanity. And that just adds this whole other layer to the story.
Yeah. It raises all these questions about fate versus free will. Is Neo truly in control of his destiny? Or is he just playing out a role that's been predetermined?
Well, and speaking of Neo, he's like our entry point into this whole world, right? Like he's this hacker. He's kind of like us. He senses that something's off.
He feels like there's something wrong with the world, but he can't quite put his finger on it.
Yeah. And then he gets that cryptic message, follow the white rabbit.
Oh, yeah, that's such a great moment. It's like a breadcrumb trail leading him down this rabbit hole of truth. And it's not just a plot device. It's a metaphor for the journey we all take when we start to question our reality. It's about following your curiosity, even if it leads you to uncomfortable places.
Totally. And it definitely leads Neo to some uncomfortable places.
Oh, yeah, for sure. I mean, first he meets Trinity, this mysterious woman who seems to know his deepest secrets, and she drops that ominous warning. They're watching you.
Which is like enough to make anyone paranoid, like right there.
Right. I mean, it just amplifies that sense of unease that we were talking about before, that feeling that you're never really alone, that someone's always watching.
And then it gets even creepier, like when Neo's interrogated by the agents.
Oh, yeah. That scene is so intense, you can feel the pressure building as they try to coerce him into cooperating.
And then there's that moment where they shove that bug into his navel.
Ugh, that scene is so disturbing. It's such a visceral image, and it really drives home the point that the Matrix isn't just messing with your mind. It has power over your physical body, too.
It's like a violation on like a fundamental level.
Exactly, and it shows how insidious this system of control really is.
Totally. So like after all of this, Neo is like finally presented with a choice, right? Like the red pill or the blue pill.
The choice between truth and ignorance, freedom, and captivity.
And he chooses the red pill.
He chooses to see how deep the rabbit hole goes.
Yeah. And that choice right there, I think that's like the heart of the film's philosophy, right? It's asking us, are we willing to confront the truth?
Right, even if it's painful.
Even if it turns our world upside down.
Yeah.
And Neo is definitely not prepared for what he's about to see.
No, he's not. I mean, he wakes up in the real world, and it's not the world he expected.
Yeah.
It's this desolate wasteland, a scorched earth left behind after humanity's war with the machines.
It's a stark contrast to that sleek digital world that we saw in The Matrix.
Absolutely. And it forces us to confront the consequences of our actions, our dependence on technology. And what if our reliance on machines leads us down a path of self-destruction?
Yeah, it's a question that feels like even more relevant today.
Totally.
And Morpheus explains how the machines are now using humans as an energy source, like
yeah.
literally like batteries, right?
It's such a chilling image, and it makes you think about the ethics of artificial intelligence.
Yeah.
How far are we willing to go in the pursuit of technological advancement?
Yeah, and like at this point in the film, it's like you're just hit with so much information, right? Like you're trying to process everything that's happening.
Right. It's like Neo, we're on this journey of discovery with him.
And then we meet the Oracle.
The Oracle, a program within the Matrix who acts as a guide and advisor.
But her prophecies and advice are super cryptic. Right?
Oh, yeah, she speaks in riddles, which just adds another layer of mystery to the whole thing, and it makes us question the nature of fate versus free will. I mean, does Neo really have a choice in all of this, or is he just a pawn in a larger game?
Right, and we're left wondering, like, what's her role in all of this? What's her agenda?
Exactly. The Oracle is such an intriguing character because she represents knowledge and guidance within a system that's designed to keep people ignorant.
It's like she's a glitch in the Matrix too, but like in a different way.
Exactly.
So Neo starts his training right like inside the construct.
Construct a virtual reality program where he can download knowledge directly into his brain.
Which is like such a cool concept. Like imagine being able to learn Kung Fu in seconds.
Right. It raises so many questions about the future education. I mean, could we one day learn complex skills instantaneously?
But even with all this knowledge that he's downloading, Neo still struggles.
He still has doubts. He still has fears.
And that's where that scene with Morpheus comes in, right, where they're sparring. And Morpheus tells him, stop trying to hit me and just hit me.
That line is so powerful because it's about letting go of your preconceived notions, about trusting your instincts.
It's like unlearning every...
They went in right there. Y'all saw them go in right there. Neo still had his emotions. He still had to tie things down, combine his mind with his heart, see what his gut mind is saying, connect all those three circles, and let whatever come out, come on out. Move, Rachi. That's not dog. It's tying it on down. They are. They went about Serenity and Morpheus and the Oracle being a glitch in the Matrix herself. Then like being apparently a part of it, like was supposed to be there. But I want to see what more they have. If you do, then stay tuned. Let's continue. Just tie now.
everything you thought you knew.
Exactly.
And then there's that iconic jump program scene on the rooftop.
Where Neo tries to make that leap of faith.
But he falls short, and it's like a visual metaphor for his struggle to believe in himself.
That scene is all about the gap between knowledge and belief. You can have all the information in the world, but without belief, without faith in yourself, you'll never be able to fully realize your potential.
And then we see Morpheus effortlessly making that same jump.
Right, showing Neo what's possible when you fully embrace the rules of this new reality.
It's such a great contrast, but not everyone on the ship shares Morpheus's faith in Neo.
No, we start to see cracks in Cypher's loyalty.
Right, he's like disillusioned, he misses the comfort and the ignorance of the Matrix.
He's starting to question whether the truth is actually worth fighting for.
And that leads to that super tense scene where the crew is trying to escape a sentinel in the sewers.
Oh yeah, that scene is so claustrophobic and intense.
Right, and it just shows how dangerous it is both inside and outside the Matrix.
There's no escape from the fight.
And then Cypher has that conversation with Neo about the other ones who died trying to fulfill the prophecy.
Right, he's planting seeds of doubt, making Neo question whether he's truly the one or just another pawn destined to fail.
And this is where we really start to see Cypher's true colors. Like, he's not just questioning things, he's actually planning to betray the entire crew.
And his motivation is so fascinating. I mean, he's not driven by power or greed. He just wants to go back to a life of blissful ignorance, even if it means betraying everything he once believed in.
Yeah, and that's what makes his betrayal so shocking and so heartbreaking.
It's a reminder that even in the fight for freedom, there will always be those who choose comfort over truth.
And his betrayal has devastating consequences.
Oh yeah, he kills Dozer Apoxwitch.
I mean, he almost kills Tank.
It's a brutal reminder that the stakes in this fight are incredibly high.
And we're left with this massive cliffhanger, right? Like, Morpheus is captured, the crew is trapped, and Cypher has revealed himself as a traitor.
Things are not looking good for our heroes.
So we're going to have to pick up this deep dive in part 2 and see if Neo can live up to the prophecy and save Morpheus and the others from the agents.
I can't wait to see what happens next.
I too. Man, last time on our deep dive into the Matrix,
They done made a part 2 on us. We gotta see what they ain't let up. They are not letting up. Let's keep going.
things got like really real.
Yeah,
like
that's so
super intense. We had Cypher's betrayal.
Wait, before we start again, I gotta change the speaker concept so it's going through the headphones. I'm just tired now. Exclusive. Yep. Hey. There we go.
Absolutely, I think it's a total game changer.
Right, and we're left wondering, like, what's going to happen next?
Yeah, can Neo possibly live up to the prophecy?
Can he save Morpheus? And what about the rest of the crew? Like, are they going to make it out of this?
Right, I mean, things are looking pretty bleak.
So, let's jump back into the screenplay and see how things unfold.
Okay.
So we pick up right where we left off with the crew trapped inside the Matrix.
Right, they're in a desperate situation, their exit's blocked, and the agents are closing in.
And that escape from the hotel is like pure adrenaline.
Oh yeah, that scene is just non-stop action.
Right, like see Mouse tragically killed.
Right, such a
And then Morpheus being dragged away by the agents.
and Trinity and Neo barely making it out through a wall.
Like defying the laws of physics.
Yeah, I mean, it's a masterclass in tension.
Oh, wait.
The Wachowski-
It's not coming up.
Okay.
So we pick up right where we left.
I didn't know y'all couldn't hear. What the heck? I'm just sitting there, y'all watching me eat. That should have worked.
Off with the crew trapped inside the
All right, there we go.
Matrix.
Right, they're in a desperate situation, their exit's blocked, and the agents are closing in.
And that escape from the hotel is like pure adrenaline.
Oh yeah, that scene is just non-stop action.
Right, like we
Right.
see Mouse tragically killed.
Right, such a sad loss.
And then Morpheus being dragged away by the agents,
And Trinity and Neo barely making it out through a wall.
like defying the laws of physics.
Yeah, I mean, it's a masterclass in tension building. The Wachowskis use these quick cuts, tight close-ups, and this pulsing score to create this feeling of claustrophobia and urgency, like you're right there with them feeling the walls closing in.
And the special effects are just incredible.
Oh yeah, I mean, it still holds up even today.
Totally. And amidst all of this chaos, we see like the full extent of Cypher's betrayal.
Yeah, he calls Tank pretending to be injured, only to shoot him in cold blood.
It's like so brutal.
Right? It's a stark reminder that danger can come from the most unexpected places, even within your own ranks.
And what's even more chilling is like Cypher genuinely believes that he's doing the right thing.
Yeah, he's so disillusioned with the real world. He's convinced himself that ignorance is bliss, that returning to the Matrix is the only way to find happiness.
Right. And he even tries to justify his actions by saying, I'd rather be happy in the Matrix than miserable in the real world.
Yeah, but his choice has devastating consequences, not just for himself, but for the entire crew.
Absolutely. And as if things weren't bad enough, Agent Smith is now interrogating Morpheus.
Yeah, trying to get the access codes to Zion, the last human city.
And Smith's whole monologue about humanity being a virus.
Oh, yeah, that's such a powerful speech.
It's like disturbing and thought-provoking at the same time.
Right. It makes you question who's really the villain in this story. Are humans the real threat to the planet, as Smith claims? Or are the machines just as guilty of playing God, trying to control and manipulate life itself?
Yeah, it's like this huge philosophical question, and the film doesn't give us any easy answers.
Right. It leaves it up to us to decide.
So back on the Nebuchadnezzar, Neo and Trinity are like determined to rescue Morpheus.
Yeah, they're not giving up without a fight.
Even if it means defying Tank's orders.
Right. They're willing to risk everything to save their friend and their leader.
And Neo's line, because I believe in something.
Oh, yeah. That's a great line.
It's like a turning point for him.
Yeah, he's not just blindly following Morpheus anymore. He's acting on his own convictions.
He's like stepping into his role as the one.
He's embracing his destiny.
And that's when we get that incredible action sequence.
Oh, yeah, the lobby shootout, the helicopter chase, Neo catching Morpheus as they fall from the building.
It's like one of the most iconic action scenes in cinema history.
Oh, they
The
shooting
way
each
they
other,
blend
going
those
down.
practical effects with those
looking
groundbreaking
up.
CGI is just amazing.
And it's not just about the spectacle
They leave
either.
comments
It's
on the
all
GP
symbolic of
CGI.
Neo's awakening.
Right, he's starting to bend the rules of the Matrix, defying gravity, moving with a speed and agility that seems superhuman.
He's becoming the one right in front of our eyes.
It's exhilarating to watch.
Totally. But just when we think all hope is lost.
Yeah, Neo appears to be dead.
Right. And then Trinity whispers this like confession of love to him, and he's miraculously resurrected.
That moment is so powerful. It speaks to the power of human connection. The idea that love can transcend even death itself.
Yeah, and it sets the stage for Neo's final transformation.
He's finally ready to embrace his true potential.
And from this point on, there's no stopping him.
Yeah, he's dodging bullets. He's seeing the Matrix code. He's realizing that he is the one.
And he even enters Agent Smith and destroys him from the inside.
It's like he's finally understanding the true nature of the Matrix, how to manipulate it from within.
Right, but the fight's not over yet.
No, the machines are still out there.
And they're sending these sentinels to attack the Nebuchadnezzar.
Right, but Neo manages to use an EMP blast to disable them, buying them some time to escape.
It's like this brilliant moment of improvisation.
Right, it shows that humans can still outsmart the machines, even in this world dominated by technology.
And then we see Trinity and Neo share this passionate kiss after their escape.
It's a moment of connection, a glimmer of hope amidst all the chaos and destruction.
It's like a reminder that even in the darkest of times, love can still prevail.
And that's where we'll leave off for today.
Yeah.
But we'll be back for the final part of our deep dive into the Matrix to explore the film's ending and unpack its deeper meaning.
It's going to be epic.
Yeah.
I mean, there's so many amazing moments in this part of the film, but
I
if
know.
I had to pick one that really stands out for me,
Yeah.
it's got to be that scene where Trinity confesses her love to Neo and brings him back to life.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, talk about a powerful moment, right?
Totally.
It speaks to the power of human connection, this idea that love can transcend even the most rigid boundaries, even death itself.
Right. Like the power of belief and love is like stronger than the Matrix itself.
Exactly, and it sets the stage for Neo's final transformation.
Yeah, from this point on, he's like unstoppable, right?
Absolutely. He's finally embracing his true potential as the one.
And it's like all those doubts and fears that he had before, they just melt away. It's like that moment unlocks something within him, some deeper understanding of his power and purpose.
Totally. And speaking of purpose, we then see Neo making that phone call to the machines, like directly challenging their authority.
Oh, yeah. That scene is so badass.
Right, like he's not hiding anymore. He's not running. He's like confronting them head on.
And remember how the film opened with Trinity on the phone?
Yeah.
manipulating the Matrix's code.
Oh, yeah.
Now it's Neo's turn, but he's operating on a whole other level.
Right. He's not just bending the rules anymore. He's like rewriting them.
Exactly. He's become a master of the code.
And what's really interesting is that he doesn't just threaten the machines, he offers them a glimpse of a different future, a possibility for coexistence.
Yeah, he talks about the Matrix becoming a chrysalis, a place of transformation rather than imprisonment.
Right. It's like a radical idea suggesting that even within the system of control, there's potential for growth and evolution.
It challenges that whole binary thinking of us versus them suggesting that maybe, just maybe, there's a way for humans and machines to coexist, to learn from each other.
Yeah, right, like to evolve beyond this cycle of conflict.
Absolutely.
And that brings us to the film's ending. Like, Neo defeats Agent Smith, seemingly liberating humanity from the Matrix's control.
Yeah, but the film doesn't end with a clear-cut victory.
Right. There's a sense of ambiguity, a lingering question of what happens now.
Yeah, because even if Neo has broken free from the Matrix's control, the system itself remains in place.
Right. Like the machines are still out there.
Exactly. The fight for true freedom, for a world where humans and machines can coexist peacefully, is far from over.
It's like that final shot of Neo flying away, right?
Yeah.
It's a symbol of hope and possibility, but also a reminder that the journey is ongoing.
And that's the beauty of the film. It leaves us with so many questions, so many possibilities.
And of course, we can't forget that iconic question that the film asks us.
Yeah.
What if you were offered the choice between the red pill and the blue pill, knowing the risks? Which would you choose?
Ugh, chills.
I know.
Right? That question, it's not just about the Matrix. It's about our own lives, our own choices. Are we willing to face the harsh realities of the world, even if it means confronting uncomfortable truths?
Or do we choose to live in blissful ignorance, even if it means sacrificing our freedom?
Exactly. It's a question that stays with you long after the credits roll.
And for me, that's the true power of The Matrix. It's not just a sci-fi action film, it's a philosophical exploration that challenges us to think critically, to question our assumptions, and to ultimately choose our own path.
Well said. I couldn't agree more.
So as we wrap up our deep dive into The Matrix, I want to leave you with this final thought. The choice is always yours, red pill or blue pill.
Ooh.
It's up to you to decide what kind of reality you want to live in. Keep exploring, keep questioning, and keep diving deep.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
All right. I like how they went in on all the Matrix. I originally just asked them who was Neo. That's all I really asked them. What is Neo's purpose in this? And I gave them the original 1999 script, and they did some good justice. Okay, everybody clap it up. They tied it on down for sure, for mega sure. They tied it on down. I really appreciate them coming through and doing that. And while we're at it, check out the Just Tie Now story, guys. Let's see what Perplexity has to say about it. No, it's not. It's right there. How are you gonna say it's a random string of letters? It's right there. Just Tie Now store, where you can buy your I'm Free Mickey shirt, your Aquarius. What's your sign? Don't be blind, find it, get intertwined. Got the Leo. Oh, this is one of my favorite ones. This the triplified. But if I go to the website, I can show y'all the hot size. Oh, and this one is a full tee. Oh,